Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to Guns N' Roses Central. And I wanted to follow up on the previous video I did about Duff McKagan. He did a vintage interview back in 2000 where he talked pretty candidly about his time in Guns N' Roses, looking back at the Illusions records, his Believe in Me record he put out in 1993, as well as Get in the Ring. And, I wanted to follow up on that interview because I'm going to split this up into two parts. I've linked to the full interview down below if you guys want to check it out. It's a great read, and Duff is pretty open and honest about his thoughts about the band. Now, in this episode, we're going to talk about the St. Louis incident, about what he did after he took time off from Guns N' Roses, his thoughts on Slash's Snake Pit, and what his relationship with Axl was like in the year 2000, and that part may surprise some of you. So I want to first start off with Duff's thoughts about videos that Guns N' Roses shot, like Estranged and November Rain. So he was asked by the interviewer, at the time the band released some really elaborated video clips of songs like Estranged and November Rain that some of the old fans hated because of the wild essence of Guns N' Roses seemed lost. And Duff said, "I think they took our music to redneck America, as we say here." He said they were all Axl's ideas, but there were 5 guys in a band and everyone's got an opinion. At that time, I think the record company was afraid of telling us not to do them. They saw what was happening too, but when you are generating such big money, no one's telling you what you have to do. Oh well, it's done. And my take is, if it were for me, we would have never done those videos, but it was not in my hands. And the interviewer asked him, especially you coming from a punk background, to which Duff said, "Yeah, all that shit about limousines and that, come on, man, don't show your effing house and the limousine," referring to the Estranged video. "You're going to alienate your fans. The fans of our first record were rednecks, punks, and rockers. We were in street level, and suddenly everyone was bringing their parents to our shows, like in November Rain. I love the song, but the video, beautiful people, we became beautiful people." Duff also talked about his memories of the St. Louis incident, and he said, "That was something stupid. I won't comment on that because I don't want to get negative. It happened and it was ridiculous. There were people injured and that pissed me off a lot. I can't enjoy being heard in a show. That was bullshit. It was one of the worst nights, like the Donington show where those kids died. That was horrible." He also talked about what he did after he left Guns N' Roses. He said, "I was working on my record Beautiful Disease every day, 6 days a week. That's what I did. I left in August of 1997 and worked on the record from August to January. It was supposed to be released in February 12th of 1998 that year. The people in the band who were going to be with me on the road after the record was not released said, 'F it, let's tour anyways.' We did the tour under the name Loaded, and it was like a punk tour, always to the punk clubs, and it was a lot of fun, something I really needed to do. I got married by the end of August, and I started with 10 Minute Warning before working with Mark. We've written some 30 songs so we can come to the present. So I never thought of stop working and said, hey, I'm going to take some months off because I can't just sit at home." The interviewer also asked Duff whether he's talked to Axl since he left Guns N' Roses in 1997, to which Duff said a couple of times, and the interviewer followed up by asking, "Is your relationship good?" Duff said, "I don't know if it is for him. I don't know. I think Axl is really pissed at me now. I think he's getting more and more pissed. First time I saw him, everything seemed to work out fine, but it looks like things have changed." To which the interviewer said, "Axl is like today's Greta Garbo. There's a lot of mystery around him. No one has seen a picture of him in years, except for that mugshot when he was arrested in Phoenix. No one knows anything about the music he's doing, and there's a lot of mystery around his persona. What's your take on this stuff? Weird things happen when you become famous. There's no school to teach you how to be famous. It happens and people are affected in different ways. I don't have an answer for you. I've got a lot of opinions and I know a lot of things about this matter, but I'm not explaining them. I will not. He's there to answer. If he puts out a record and it's good, he's going to be all right. He's very scared about this. I believe in this situation you have to leave home a bit to see what's happening. Go away, live, or do what you have to do, but be sure about it. That's how I think. If you keep touring with, if you keep fooling yourself and keep doing the same things, you're going to be effed. Guns was never like that. We did what we had to, and we didn't have a name for it. It's only rock and roll. Let's go. Let others put you in that category." And then he was, of course, asked the same question that the guys from Guns N' Roses have been asked before the reunion happened. After several years away, do you think there's any chance that Guns N' Roses original members would reunite someday for an album or a tour? Would you do it if it was offered to you? Now, he revealed something I'd never known before in his answer. He said, if it's something that's democratic between the 5 of us, that's something I would love to do. Not long ago, we were offered several shows to begin the new millennium in Australia, but there's no way it could be like the old days. Things have changed. He also talked about his musical taste, which some of the bands he mentioned actually surprised me. He was asked about what he's listening to these days. He said, I like Bush's new record. It's not really new, but it's been out for 2 months. Foo Fighters. I can listen to the Helicopters, to Dr. Dre. He also revealed he was pretty open-minded about his musical taste, saying that he even likes Christina Aguilera, and he also is a big Kid Rock fan. He said he's a lot of fun. He's a really cool guy. Now I want to turn over to another interview Duff did around the same time with Burn Magazine. Now, it's translated into English, but he was talking about the Live Air album a bit, and he revealed some facts about the album that I hadn't known before. So he said, let me explain. At first, Geffen Records was bought up. Axel Slash and I were still partners in GNR, and Seagram was buying up everything and put them together. Contract, master tapes, everything. I still had one live album to release in this contract. I had the tape in hand, but I was expected that if somebody will use it right, and now was the time. So he said, me and Andy Wallace were in the studio and mixed the album every day last August. He is great. Slash called me up and asked me what it sounded like, because he was busy working on his record, and the album was supposed to be sent to Axel. It's funny that the guys from Universal, Interscope, or something said that they won't release the Live Air album unless I decide the title of the album. I said, that's fine. I said, you are the people who want to release the album, but they were giving me mental pressure. Now, Duff did respond to an interview that Axel did around the same time with Kurt Loder when he was talking about Chinese democracy, and he also talked about past members, including Duff and Slash, about how they hated a lot of the new music that was out. Here's what Axel told Kurt Loder.
Basically, listening to everything that's out there as far as music goes, and that was a big difference between myself and Slash and Duff, is that I didn't hate everything new that came out. I really liked the Seattle movement. Yeah. I like White Zombie. I like Nine Inch Nails, and I like hip hop. I don't hate everything, and I don't think everybody should be, worshiping me because I was around before then.
So Duff responded to that interview saying, I wanted to say something against the MTV interview. He said that he likes the Seattle sound, referring to Axel. On the other hand, Slash and me hated the music that comes out now. It's stupid, but let me do the self-defense. I'm the one who brought Ice-T and Killing Joke, etc. in the band and listened to other kinds of music. I'm not a country boy from Indiana. I'm from Seattle. So that does it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video about Guns N' Roses, and be sure to subscribe if you love Guns N' Roses. You guys can also follow me on social media and support my channel on Patreon. If you want to see more videos just like this, hit the links in the description box down below. Take care.